Yes, even in a bull market, you can lose money. I want to explain how to do the opposite of that because I feel a lot of people will miss out on this cycle due to some silly decision making. So right now the market is correcting, and as a market participant, you're probably feeling quite hard done by. I want to explain some factors here that might well change your whole perspective. You need to understand that in the market, there's going to be stronger hands versus weaker hands. Usually weaker hands are new people, beginners in the market, who don't actually understand what is happening. So let's get into it. Let's talk about the first and most obvious part, fear and greed. Before we go on, I am not talking about this. I'm not talking about the fear and greed. As much as that works for obvious elements, when it's fearful, time to buy, when it's... Yeah, you get the idea. I'm more talking about the most obvious thing in the room here is the charts. Fear and greed. People's mentality. The fear of missing out. The greed of getting those low orders. And this part is more about the obsession that people have with time in the bottoms and time in the tops. You are not going to get a perfect run. That's all I'm going to say. Now, this is important. People who persevere and are in our Learning Crypto Premium, for example, who have been around for a while, have been buying the lows. There's been a couple of people who have been wishing for it to go even lower. That's fine. Myself included, would have been nice. But you've got to kind of understand one concept to understand how to win in a bull or a bear market is buying as low as you possibly can, as far away from all-time high, gives you higher probability of success when we go into a new market bull cycle. I'll come on to market cycles in a bit. That's a good bit. But the fundamentals are clear. People will want to get the lowest order, myself included. I've fallen for it. But there's people who do the opposite side, who are wishing and wanting this to keep going up and up and up and up and up, and thinking that Bitcoin's going to go to $1 million like next week and physically buy some really stupid level. So if we look at, say, Chainlink, random example, was $22 before, people were looking at this going to 100. There would have been people that genuinely would have bought this level. Near Protocol, great example, we've been covering it a lot, has had a monster run, but it's also corrected massively. That is no fault of your own, but it will come on to point 2 of this video, which is kind of hugely important. Why people get into this mess? Because they do not understand what they're doing. They're greedy. They want to make money. They're not understanding the process of making money. They just want money, right? So if you are looking at the market, you're buying these tops. Now, I even have staff members, right, who have bought tops. It happens. I myself included have bought tops. It's a thing. But you need to limit them and understand why you have done it. The next part brings me on to something really obvious. Not doing research. Now, this is what most people do, right? They're like, yeah, cool. Winner. I want to buy this. I want to buy that. I want to buy this. I want to buy that. But they're not actually looking at 2 things. They're not looking at what the asset is and is it or not, maybe possibly undervalued to buy, right? That kind of... So we're looking at meme coin season, for example, on Solana. People are just going into Solana, going into Phantom Wallet, going bang, bang, bang. I'm going to buy all these coins. But actually, sometimes you might actually lose a lot of money there, potentially, right? Same with a lot of these, right? People will be looking at certain coins, thinking certain things, and not actually understand the mechanics of it. Dogecoin, people think it's going to go to $5, but not understanding the market capitalization, for example, right? TikTokers. Don't get me started. So when we're looking at this, people don't do enough research. To research something, you need to fully get in bed with it. You need to go onto their actual website. So Litecoin, for example, right? Look and understand what you are buying, because if you are understanding what you're buying, you will be committed to that transaction. You got to think like a trader. You got to think, right, I am buying said product and I want to sell it higher. You could go into Tesco's, or you can go into somewhere random like Walmart, whatever grocery store you got. You usually got an idea what you want to buy, right? You will look at the price and go, is it undervalued or is that a bit pricey? Am I going to get a good deal today? Certainly if you're in the UK, you've got problems because the inflation's ridiculous for food. It really is. So you will make that conscious decision. But when it comes to like crypto investing and making money, people just go, boink, done, bought it. No idea what it is. And then you get people who literally, and sorry if I'm offending anyone, they will come to learning crypto, right? A little bit of a plug in a second. And they will come and I'll ask questions. I bought a load of coins last cycle. I don't know what I bought. I don't know what exchange it's on. I don't know what to do. And I'm like, fuck. Get my point? So you need to understand what you're buying. Why you're buying it. Where to store it. Where, when, what, all that kind of stuff. You got to understand it. I can talk about this for months on end, right? So check out the website. Learn what it is. Learn about the team. Learn about the utility of the token. Learn where to buy it. Learn about the capitalization. Look at the token emissions. All that kind of stuff. The technology as well if you want to. You get my point? You need to understand what you're buying, because that way you will start to think of it like an actual commodity in your investment armory, technically. Does that make sense? Another thing that people need is not so much YouTube. I know you're watching us on YouTube, but education. You need to understand the education. Now, obviously, link below, Learning Crypto, there's discount codes as well. We have got a new website coming that's going to have a lot of free resources. We also have a trading indicator, which will help people see the trend of certain things. I've kind of revealed a little bit about it on socials, but there'll be a big reveal soon. Now, education like this is going to scare people. Fear, right? Obviously, you've got to stand out in terms of thumbnails, clickbait. And when you don't know what you're doing and you are literally copying, this is a point I'm going with here, and you're just copying things. Now, it happens to me. I will sell an asset, people will shit themselves, and they will sell it because I've sold it. Fair enough. Problem, right? You need to understand, again, going back to point 2, what you're buying. But the education part comes in even more because you need to make that own decision. Once you can research, once you understand basic technical analysis, once you understand certain psychology factors about making money, it actually becomes pretty easy. And I know that's arrogant, but in the stock market, it's all about experience. Same in crypto, it's about experience. You've got to lose a lot of money to figure out what the hell to do. Not many people get to that point. People will buy, think they're a genius, not take profit, hit the floor. To understand the element and the transaction there, you've got to think like a trader. You've got to understand the elements. And to get that understanding, you need to learn and also experience. Too many people come in and go out. And this is the whole point. This whole video, I can say this is why you've lost money, is for the main reason. And I've talked about it till blue in the face. You buy at these peaks in like Near Protocol in the previous cycle. And yeah, for a period, you're making money. Then you start telling your friends and you get them all involved. You say, oh, this is amazing. And the bear market happens. And then it goes to the absolute zero floor. People get out of jail. Near Protocol, in my opinion, will probably surpass its previous all-time high. That will then lead to people that bought much higher in the previous cycle to get out of jail for free. If they're still holding it, if they understand what they're doing, they'll be like, oh, I need to log back into Binance, I need to get this. Education will stop that element. It will stop you from being too risky and also be able to de-risk at the right time, take profit, and then be able to buy at the lows. The people buying these lows, shout out to the community, are probably laughing right now. But hey, now, this is loose, right? Baggy jeans. Market cycles. It's more of a belief system than an actual to-go-to system. But if you understand the basics of moving averages, bull and bear markets, maybe some other weird terms, you don't have to go too far. But you need to understand 2 metrics. When to buy, when not to buy, right? Most people are going to lose money and not make money is because they are buying at the wrong time. They are buying in the euphoric areas and looking for the big green dildo candles instead of actually buying in the accumulation zones or in the deep bear market where it's goblin town and people hate themselves and they want to kill each other on social media. That's usually a factor. So we talk about it all the time. To make money in a bull cycle, you need to actually buy in a bull cycle before it really takes off. Kind of where we are right now in terms of we got the first big ass dip. Yeah, some things have run. You might not get a good deal, but some things are okay and they probably will run. Now, fundamentals here. It might run for a lot longer than you think, but this is a factor that's going to blow people's mind. It might not. Markets will do what the hell they want. Certain things might happen. What if something happens and it's a massive tragedy and the market just crashes? What if something on the other side is a massive positive for crypto and we fly even further? ETFs, as an example of this, is kind of giving us that kind of inkling. So when we talk about this, you need to buy at certain points. Now, let's just talk about this. What if, right, this previous high, and we're going to do a fib extension here, right? What if we're going to do this fib extension from the high to the low, and we go up to some other extension levels, and we really do fly, and we keep going up? There will be people that will be buying those tops. Exit liquidity, we call them. It's fun. But there'll be people that bought and accumulated down here in a comfortable position, and they can just take profit because they can. Time in the market is not, as I said on point 1, is not about finding the bottoms or the tops. It's about being in at the right time and noticing that you've made a lot of money and you've turned that from unrealized to realized. That is the crux of it. Absolutely it. Problem we've got is not many people want to do that. Don't know why. People hate tax, for example. Some people just want to hold forever. Don't get that. Not with altcoins anyways. However, when we talk about this element of understanding market cycles, even if you put like a simple moving average on the higher time frame, say the weekly, maybe an EMA 21, maybe an EMA whatever, up to you, personal. I prefer the 21. It will tell you when not to buy and when to buy. In simple terms, when it's above it, don't buy. When it's below it, it's a pot. Buy it. Make sense? Good. And the final point, shouldn't have to tell you, but I'm going to tell you anyways. A lot of people try to make money and get rich by doing this, by looking at the most newest coins listed on CoinMarket or CoinGecko and just aping into them. Let me explain something. Less is more with crypto. The less assets you've got and more size of solid assets, the more you'll probably make over time due to how markets run. There's a lot of people in my kind of thinkings anyways that think that a 10x or a 20x is underperforming. We get it all the time, and we got to talk about speculative gains as well here. People will look at these and go, wow, some random dude in his bedroom has just made 100x in like 10 seconds. Yeah, it happens, right? But it doesn't always happen. I would rather you, as a beginner, to go into higher markup coins, build a solid portfolio base in your first cycle. This is a nugget here. And grow that into something nice. If you want to, and if you have profit, take a little bit of that out and throw it into the shitcoin world. Do it. Crack on. Because something might stick, but it's profit. You are not at risk technically. Just divide a bit of your profit up and do it. Problem is, people don't want to do that for some reason. Probably people are not even at this point in the video because I probably already bored them to death because I've just mentioned the word profit, right? If you can remove your risk, if you can take profit and use that, you've got a core base. Brilliant. Separate it up, then go into meme coins. What we find, educating since 2018, is people go straight to this world first. They just do. It's like going into a nightclub and they go straight to shots, literally. It's crazy. But for me, this is a fundamental butter of how people come to the market. Meme coins are one of those little pedal points where it does get rotation and it works very, very well. People hate it. It's one of those things. But if you're new, don't do it. However, if you are experienced and you've already built a nice little nest egg of crypto assets and you can throw money at these, you might make even more money. And if you understand the element of market cycles, meme coin seasons, alt seasons, when to buy, when not to buy, understanding when you're getting greedy or whatever and you've gotten fearful, oh, that's a video kind of wrapped up, isn't it? It makes obvious sense. So there we go. Done. There's a video floating around, which is basically what Gaz did the other day regarding dips, stuff to buy. Probably check it out. I'd watch it. It's a good one.